Perfect. Awesome stuff. Well, welcome to the first game of the last set of the day. It is the second round of the group stage, and this is a quote-unquote losers match between Nicov and dogao. Of course, they are not losers. It just means that they lost the first round. They lost their first round group stage matches, and as a result, they have to battle it out now because the person that loses this particular game will be out of King of the Desert 4. So, yeah, in the red we have dogao, then in the blue we have Nicov. Nicov going for Japanese. Ooh, interesting. And dogao going for Berbers. Oh, but that's good for Nicov, because Nicov, I'm not saying it's good in this particular game, but he does have the Tars on the menu, and Berbers eat cavalry archer sips for lunch. And Japanese, yes, they have fully upgraded cavalry archers. That still doesn't mean they're going to use them here. So I expect probably some archer play from Nicov here. That's probably the best option he has, like going for arbalest, maybe with some pikemen in there if Berbers decide to go for a lot of cavalry, which is of course what Berbers are good at. So that would be my prediction here, at least. But of course, my predictions do not have to be necessarily correct. Quick elephant. Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, normally indeed you would get that elephant after you have gotten villagers on lumber camp. So interesting. Well, I mean, if you're afraid that dogao is gonna lame you, I mean, maybe. Like, dogao is Berbers. Technically, what he could do is send a villager forward and just lame a rhino, you know, across the map, because Berber villagers walk faster, so you can actually get away with that. You know, I think they'd still catch up with you. Like, an elephant is just a little bit faster than a Berber villager. 80, and let's see, Berber villager is... Oh, no. No. But wait, if it's enraged, if that's different. Let's see. Let's check. If it gets enraged, if it walks faster. No, it's still the same, is it? Yeah, look, it never catches up. It never catches up. But it's not it's not too slow that it would fall too far behind the villager. So you can just drag it all the way across the map if you wanted to. So laming with Berber vills is a lot of fun, actually. I'm not trying to encourage any behavior here or anything. Anyways, we got... let's look at their maps first. So we got a really open map for both players here. So the wood lines generated a little bit further away. Like, sometimes they're even as close as like this far, right? But this time around it's like double that. So the wood lines are a bit further away than normal. We got a back gold here for dogao, and that is totally fine. But it's very open on this side. So depending on how he's going to wall this, his base is either secure or, you know, a little bit tricky. Now it has forward berries, kind of. They're a little bit to the side, but it's okay. There's a giant hill next to it, though, as you can see. And that could be awkward, especially if you don't wall on top of it, but behind it. We got some gold out here, another gold out there. That does mean that technically qualifies as a forward gold. This one not so much, but still out there. But the fact that they're spread out means that if you lose control over one, you can still go to the other. And that's always nice to know. As dogao wants to snipe this villager from that Nicov has here. Doesn't have loom, but yeah, Nicov is gonna send in his scout, and now dogao has to run away to a hill where he can then turn around promptly and attack Nikov's scout. Something Nicov does not want to happen. So he's like, okay, you know what? I'll just wall in my villager, get loom, and then we're done with this. With this shenanigans, these shenanigans. Well, it's going to be men-at-arms for Nicov there, and as you can see, barracks already going up for him, and dogao will now know that, of course. Dogao probably going to go for scouts here. That's usually the opening that Berbers go for. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes for his own men-at-arms, but don't be fooled, by the way. Berbers have fully upgraded infantry. Fully upgraded. They get champions, too. So, it's not actually that bad. I don't think they can help with deer, though. Do they? I don't think so. As for Nikov's base, we didn't really finish talking about that. He has a forward gold. His wood lines are also quite spread out. You know, he has 4 instead of kind of 3, and then, you know, one of them kind of merged together, as you can see at dogao's base. Berries are in the back, but again, next to a hill, so it's still not ideal. But you do have a castle potential with, or towers actually, with Japanese. If you want to go for that, tower a whole lot with Japanese towers is always a nice thing to do. Trust me, trying to raid a Yasama, a base with towers, a Japanese base with towers that have Yasama, almost impossible. Seriously, seriously try it. An Imperial Age, try to Hussar raid a Japanese base that has towers all over, like keeps everywhere with Yasuma. It's impossible. Those things shred Hussars. I swear to God. It's not even funny. That's how funny it is. It's devastating. It really is. As well, dogao in the end decides to go for something else than scouts because villagers are on gold. So I guess he has decided to maybe try to counter what Nicov is doing. So he's reacting to what Nicov is doing now, who is, you know, of course, making men-at-arms. Let's see what dogao is going to do. If he's just going to go for archers or whether he's going to try to go for his own men-at-arms. So it might be a bit too late now. He's not making them, so it's not going to be his own men-at-arms. He's going to go for archers straight as soon as he hits the feudal age. We'll have to repair his palisade wall, though, to keep these villagers safe, because you do need some gold. You do need some gold for this. And look at that. Japanese men-at-arms get this palisade wall down quick. Quick. Especially when the scout helps. Now you're basically just repairing, right? You're repairing a palisade wall to keep your villagers alive. But honestly, at this point, just delete your palisade wall and run away. You're not mining gold right now. These villagers are basically doing nothing. Like, that's totally not worth it. Totally not worth it. Like you're idling 2 villagers right now, but I guess you're also idling Nikov's army. So I guess that's true as well. Wait. So I guess there's a case to be made. At least you now know that this army is here, right? It stays here. It's busy attacking your palisade wall. You know, that's the thing to us. Oh, dogao's trying to repair here, but it doesn't work, and it's gonna run away now. And boom, there goes the palisade wall. Only 1 archer out so far for dogao, and of course it will not have fletching yet because there's no barracks up, and also you don't have the gold to afford that. Yeah, this is kind of a problematic start for dogao. He was not gonna go for men-at-arms. I don't think so. But once he saw that Nicov was gonna go for men-at-arms, he decided to adapt to it by making it by going archers instead. Unless he already planned to do that, but it didn't. I don't know. It didn't seem like it at first. I think. But he is definitely on the back foot now, and Nicov looking pretty strong here with some early aggression. Very, very good, actually, with the early aggression. Keeping dogao on the back foot, and dogao is forced to make some skirmishes as well. Going to get his blacksmith up for some upgrades, and the wood line is under threat, and that is an important wood line for dogao, because it is his only wood line. Oh, God, dogao. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, he never went to this 4-wood wood line, which is, admittedly, it's an unsafe wood line, right? That's the men-at-arms still safe, still there, getting 2 kills already, and dogao is still not being able to kill a single unit here as he runs away with the villagers. Now, they are speedy Berber villagers, so they will be able to get away from this quite quickly. They're fighting against a scout as well. Nicov trying to get this kill. Oh, it might actually get the kill, and gets the kill. Villager down. Another villager might go down for dogao, but that one gets saved, running away quite quickly, as the Berbers can do so well. More archers coming forward for Nicov as well. He wants to put on more pressure here on dogao, who is just busy defending himself. The problem is when you're defending yourself and you're losing all access to all these important resources, you're just gonna fall behind your opponent. Look at that. Yes, they have the same amount of villagers, but those from Nicov are actually working most of the time, whereas for dogao, at least 13% more less worker efficiency. And that scout that Nicov kept alive, still able to snipe skirmishers here, which do not have armor. They do have fletching, so at least they can do 1 damage to the scout, but that's about it. Actually, if you're fighting scouts, there's no point in getting fletching on your skirmishers. It doesn't actually increase their damage at all, because if you do 2 damage against a unit that has 2 pierce armor, you still do 1 damage. Like, the game is kind of cheats then. It still gives you 1 attack, but it just minimizes it. You don't actually do 0 damage ever. I don't think the game knows how to compute that. But then if you get fletching, you do 3 damage minus 2 is still 1, so it doesn't actually change your attack. This is why archers do 1 damage to a trebuchet, because a trebuchet has 200 pierce armor. Otherwise, nothing would do damage to a trebuchet ever. Pretty cool, though. Well, dogao, for the first time in a while now, pushing Nikov's army back using a whole lot of trash units, but then all that time, so much idle time, and Nicov also ahead by 2 villagers right now, the 2 villagers that he killed earlier. So this is looking really good for Nicov now. Also kind of 3 villagers ahead because dogao had a bit more idle TC time. You know, going for skirmishers very early on does hurt your food economy, and that's the most fragile part of your economy early on. Like, it's always just the early feudalates that's really difficult to get through if you have to suddenly make a whole lot of food units at the same time before, right? Before you can get your farms out. And with that in mind, making skirmishers might be the worst unit to make it that, because they cost both food and wood. Wood you need for farms, so you can get more food for villagers, but you also need that food for skirmishers. Double whammy. They're cheap though, so I guess there's that. Now, dogao, for the first time, going for a counterattack here, and oh, there's a hole! Oh, there's a hole, and Nicov realizing there's another hole between the archer range over here. Tries to drop a house there, but yeah, those houses are not finished so far, but good enough, I guess, for now to keep dogao out. But yeah, dogao running in on the other side, and now it is Nicov who's a bit, has to defend himself here. His villagers are in Berber villages. Look at the little quick wall there as well. Oh, but the villager dies after all, and the first eco kill for dogao is a fact. Now, these skirmishers are kind of locked in here by this villager that is building a house just to block their way. Nicov getting a whole bunch of skirmishers out as well, which they have bonus, both of these units do bonus damage to each other, actually. Javelins flying to and fro, but Nicov is also fighting with some villagers. At the same time, though, hitting the gold from dogao in the back. This is really good from Nicov to just defend with reinforcements at home, but still keep on the pressure on dogao at his own base. There's a lot of skirmishes in here as well, and dogao is pushed off a gold once more. A problem if you wish to make archers. Ay. That's really good. This wall doesn't save you if you're already on this side. And Nicov also has the hill as well. At the same time, looks like dogao's force got cleaned up. So Nicov, the only one who's attacking right now. And dogao still has been on the back foot for a while now. He's still 2 villagers behind. And looks like Nicov setting a stone to buy himself up to the castle age here. As dogao's just gonna get wheelbarrow now. Because he got housed. I was wondering why now, but it's he got housed, so he's getting wheelbarrow instead of losing TC working time. It's Nicov tries to get up to the next stage here. He's really abusing that market now. Although some people say that's just using the market. It's not abusive. It's making use of what it can do. She's going to click up in a second here. Boom, there he goes. Significantly before dogao would, and dogao probably also doesn't know where that archer army has gone. He doesn't know. He's been looking for it, but he doesn't know where it is, and that is in the back of his base. And if Nicov is smart about this, he keeps this army hidden for a while. Just keep it right there. Don't make it attack anything, and wait until you get your upgrades. You could be devastating here, although I guess Nicov he likes to attack, so here he comes. And there comes the army right back. There's a weak villager on a gold, and she's gonna go down. And Nicov is like, hello there. And that's 2 villagers down, for sure. Yeah, 2 villagers down. Dogao! Oh, he didn't react until now. Ooh, he didn't see it. Yeah, he didn't expect it, probably. He thought that army, that must have gone home. Was also being attacked on the other side at the same time. Really smart to distract your opponent with another army while attacking on the back. That way your opponent is less likely to recognize the threat coming from both sides. Especially because you only get 1 attack noise, right? If you do 2 attacks at the same time, you only get 1 attack noise. It will still blink on the minimap, but only 1 attack noise. So that might actually be... That's why when you're fighting on the front and sending in a few knights into your opponent's eco is so devastating, because it's so unlikely that they find that. As dogao, I hope that he knows. Yeah, okay, he's going to check it now. But unfortunately for him, Nicov is waiting, keeping that hole open. Now he knows, okay, I'm still open on that side. Yeah, but dogao has lost 4 units already. And Nicov already going up the castle age, 4 seconds. And boom, there he is. And now dogao, he's 2 minutes behind, so he has to defend himself. And dogao says GG! Calls to GG. Doesn't think he can do it anymore. That might... 2 minutes though, right? 2 minutes. You push this army away, you house wall this, you stone wall wherever you need to go, right? There's lots of walling, but you can go for some smaller walls behind. I'm not sure if that was an early GG or not. Like, dogao was definitely behind. Like, his economy was a mess. Didn't have any wood control beyond this. So I mean, if the crossbows for Nicov make their way, right? If this army makes its way to the wood line, then it is definitely GG, right? But oh, how you doing, Javier? It was over. Yeah, okay, fair enough. it was not looking too hot there for dogao for sure. But I mean, it's I guess that's just the cockroach in me saying, but you can stay alive for like 10 more minutes. Why not do it? Uh, but anyways, a good job on Nicov. I mean, he played really well here, but the aggression was great, and dogao at every point was just kind of caught off guard, trying to defend there. Nico had to throw this one to lose. That's true. That's true. I mean, it was. I mean, I'm saying that dogao could probably survive, but it's still going to depend on Nicov making a big mistake for dogao to get back into this game for real. So, I mean, if there is a Civ to do it, it's Berbers, right? Like, all-in Knights Civ, all-in Knights is what they live for. But, yeah, it wasn't looking too hot here. It definitely was not looking too hot. I agree. Well, first game going to Nicov, then dogao, resigning. But he will, of course, come back on his own home map. Man, I've made that joke so many times. Everyone has the same home map here. Anyways, I mean, dogao didn't have the best start of his life. That might have been first game jitters a little bit as well, But yeah, also Nicov, so aggressive, just everywhere with the two armies, and he attacks from this side, and then he comes back from this side, and then right back to the gold again. And dogao, never got the walls up, never got himself protected enough to keep that army out, and yeah, we want show, lol. What show? Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, we can look at statistics just real quick, but because I think that game 2 is probably going to happen in a second here. I can actually keep an eye on the Discord. Yeah, we have a game 2. Okay, we're going to rush through this then. Better kitty for Nicov. Better economy for Nicov. More vills for Nicov. There you go. Also, on average, a higher APM, but you can see that dogao does have peaks that match those of Nicov. So it's not like dogao can't be fast, but overall, Nicov seems to be the faster player. At least this game. Alright, let's go to a game 2. Let's see what dogao can do to counter the threat of the Argentinian. And blah, 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 blah. Also wonder what Civ they're going to go for as well, because, this is, I must say, like, a lot of times, what happens in these sets is that the players kind of, for some reason, magically can guess each other's civilizations and guess what they're going to go for. And often case, both players go for a cavalry civ, both go for an archer civ, countering each other a little bit. I am impressed by the ability of players to read each other's drafts, right? That's actually really good. I would be very bad at that, honestly. Also, a nice win for Nicov with what was either a sneaky pick that he still liked, or just a kind of a throwaway pick, right? To still beat a civ like Berbers, which, granted, once you get into the castles, that's when they really shine, right? Like dogao never really got there. In castles, Berbers should do really good against Japanese. Even if Japanese start spamming pikemen everywhere, that's also a thing. So we'll see. Anyways, what we have left for dogao, he might go for Huns, if he wants to go for cavalry, but he might also switch into his own archer civ, or Sicilians or something like that. If you feel confident, I guess you can go for Mongols, but that's a bigger risk. It's a bigger risk. For Nicov, I think he's gonna stick with. Well, it's mostly cavalry civs now, so I don't know what the big idea is. Oh, whoops! That is the error message I sometimes get from Capture Rage. It's that just happens sometimes. Game's already started. Let me rewind a little bit. Boom! There we go. Game 2. So welcome to the second game between Nicov and dogao. What do we have? We've got Khmer from Nicov, and wow, dogao does take that risk. Goes for Mongols. Now Mongols again, they're not the best Arabia civ. I think we can all agree that it's not the best Arabia civ in the world. There's probably better civs to pick here. But Mongols have certain time windows in which they can shine. That's the early feudal age, when they can get more aggression out much faster than any other civ, although Khmer get in a close second. If any civ can keep up with Mongols, it will be Khmer, right? But they also have a great late game. And honestly, when you have a ball of Mangudai, what are Khmer gonna do against that one? Beyond, normally you'd say, oh, just make a whole bunch of scorpions. Against Mangudai? No. And then you're stuck with Cavalier against Mangudai, and I could tell you from experience that doesn't work. No. Actually, if you actually were there, what was it? A few days ago when I did a stream, there was a little show match I had going on, or at least there was That was this match from... Darn it, it was the Neo people, right? It was you guys. Versus Gary. Was it? Yeah, my memory is failing me. Too much going on. Anyways, it was one player who went for Mongols and he made so many Mankudai, and the Cavalier couldn't even get close. Not even close. Even, you know, it was Burgundian Cavalier. That's even worse. You know, so yeah. Mankudai, OP. Dogao is looking to lame for something. How many is? Oh, he was. Oh, he didn't find anything, did he? Oh, but that's because Nicov is like, nope, you're not gonna lame me, buddy. You're not gonna lame me at all. Nice call. Nice call there. Yeah, I should have said that. But yeah, of course, if you're up against Mongols, you always need to be attentive to your hunt. Like, the chances that they are going to try to lame are 90%. Unless you have a really defensive player who doesn't like to lame, you know, then they won't lame, obviously. But yeah, good from Nicov then to keep, you know, better play it safe. I'd rather have my elephants rot away half the food than lose an entire elephant and give it to the Mongol player, right? I'd rather just take half the food from the elephant. That's fine. I mean, you're not gonna lose half the food to rot here, but you're gonna lose more food than you normally would if you take them one by one. So I think that's worth it. In any case, blah blah blah. We got a very open base for dogao. He's not going to be very happy again about that, actually. And this is true as well, exactly, because the increased line of sight for the scout makes it easier to lame. This is true. Like, this is why Mongols have such an easy time scouting around their base, because again, you have more line of sight, and then you can find your opponent's resources before they even do. This is true. Yeah, I do usually say that. That's true. Hey, I mean, the only thing Mongols really need is the Vietnamese bonus so that they can see where their opponent is. That would be very OP, though. That would be really OP. They would always be able to lame you. Always. Because by the time you find your hunt, they will already have lamed one. So it's probably good that they don't have that bonus. That would be broken. Anyways, Dogao's the front of his base, very open. We have an awkward little hill right there, and over here as well. Like most Arabia maps actually do. Like, there's always lots of hills. You basically need to assume there's always going to be a hill around your base. You always have the wall on top of it. I think maybe they should lessen the hills a little bit, because it's like there's always hills now. Like, pretty much. Like, a flat land like this, that's unique. That doesn't actually happen all the time. So, I don't know. Maybe a bit overboard with the hills on my part, but still, you know, it's better than having wood lines that always generate like this to the back. Although they have generated to the back this time around. I mean, technically it's 4 wood lines, but one of them is very far away. 4 wood berries as well for Nicov. So yeah, building a house right next to that is smart, because at least you can hide your villagers in that house, which is pretty smart. Although I'm not actually sure that Nicov is going to go for scouts here, and neither is dogao. Huh, okay, man-at-arms again then. So it's man-at-arms from dogao. This time he's actually going to make some himself as well. And Nicov, I guess he scouted that. Did he scout that? Yeah, he saw the barracks. So he didn't scout too much else about dogao's base, but he did scout that one. So, you know, that's why playing to Vietnamese Mongol is successful. Yeah, it's a 2v2, man, and Vietnamese and Mongols. That you should know if you're up against a team and they pick both those civs, you're definitely gonna get lamed. Oh yeah, definitely. As we got an archer range now from Nicov, I guess he's not gonna make his own man-at-arms here. He doesn't have to, right? He doesn't have to make barracks. He can just drop an archer range instantly. But the men-at-arms for dogao are on their way. Let's see if they can do some damage before the archers become too much of a problem. That's always the risk with going man-at-arms, is that as soon as the archers come out, it's kind of like the end of their life for them. You know, that's because they have they have 1 pierce armor, and that's about it. You know, it's not a whole lot of armor to survive archers by. And that's the way it should be, right? I mean, archers should kind of counter infantry, but it kind of sucks because, you know, that's really the reason why infantry is not so much used. It's because it doesn't actually counter anything. If you think about it, it can kill buildings. It counters eagles, yes, and the eagles counter stuff. But normal militia line, it doesn't actually counter anything, like hard counter, right? Doesn't. There's nothing except eagles. But still, then not really. If the eagles run away, that is. Well, okay, it still hard counters the eagles then, because we also say that pikemen hard counter knights, even though knights can run away. But yeah, if you find a way where, you know, to fit infantry back into the triangle, right? If you find a way to fit the infantry back into the counter triangle, then they will be used more. Like buffing them randomly is not going to help you that much there. And yeah, I would say that Khmer are probably not so happy about that nerf buff, that house nerf, because now your house is way worse at keeping your villagers safe. This is true. As dogao, he's running home with the militia. You never want to see it. Didn't get any value from it whatsoever. Now you're going to be behind in the archer numbers. And dogao knows that. That's why he's making skirmishers already. And also the worst part about this is that now, you know, your early bonus is fast. You know, fast early military, but now you're still going to be up against that early bonus. Is gone now, and Mongols, the longer the game goes, at some point in the mid game, you basically have no eco bonus working for you. There is nothing to speed up your game, really. You have to survive. That's kind of what you need to do. As Nicov snipes one skirmisher, but also loses his scout in the process to the men-at-arms. So at least they got some value. Look at that, 1 kill. Good job, guys. Good job. You guys can be proud. Anyways, as Nicov has the hill, can easily micro down these skirmishes, and no armor on these as well for dogao. And dogao, he's ahead in score, but there's also a lot of that is going to be scouting. A lot of that is going to be the fast hunt as well. Whereas Nicov scouting, yeah, Nicov scouted way less than dogao. That's the main difference here in score, honestly. As yeah, dogao is just making a whole lot of skirmishes without armor, which yeah, can barely fight these archers, especially if your opponent has good archer micro. That makes it way more difficult. As ooh, nice shot. Yeah, see, look at that. You shoot, get hit, and then boom. Because for some reason, like I'm pretty sure that archer bolts land faster. Nice split micro. Nicov is looking on top right here right now. dogao has the hill, loses a skirmisher though, and this must be so annoying to fight against as well. He's bringing a weak one back, but yeah, he's just gonna retreat back home. And Nicov controlling the middle for now with his micro, and at the same time back home, just adding some farms. He's gonna be happy about this, be able to get up to the next stage as fast as he would have wanted. It still controls his hill, so if dogao wants to go to the middle, not so much. Yeah, the micro is on top here. The micro is perfect. I mean, like, perfect, but it's very good, right? It's very good. Like, dogao has the freaking counter unit. It's not doing anything. And Nicov, actually, he's bringing in some scouts. He wants to get some damage in and feudalates. He wants to do some more damage, because remember, Nicov hasn't been able to damage dogao right now either. Dogao hasn't taken any damage from Nicov either so far. So Nicov probably feels the need to do some damage here, and bringing in some scouts allows you to kill those pesky skirmishers. And also allows you to go around with some archers. Oh god. I mean, dogao has scouted all of that. There's some golds out there for dogao, but the main gold is here. The wood line is there. If Nicov wants to run around, he could. Oh, do you think he's gonna be patient here? Because if he runs around and gets into the wood line like this, that'd be devastating, especially when dogao is on the other side with his skirmishers. dogao's food count not looking too hot, and look at Nicov. Look at him go. Oh, dogao could see it. He saw it. Okay, thank God for dogao for seeing that, because that would have been absolute massacre. But nevertheless, it's going to take at least a few losses there. One villager going down. Another villager could go down in just a second there. If dogao runs it away to the right side. Nicov gonna run away though. He assumes that the skirmishers are coming his way. Oh man, and scouts as well. Ooh, so dogao adding a stable himself to get to counter the scouts from Nicov, as Nicov is looking to get a kill on the front, and dogao running to the other side. Now is to run right to the back, and Nicov has done such a great job at this. He comes in on one side, goes back to the other side, comes in on one side, goes back to the other side, and oh my god, is he gonna actually get away with this? No, that freaking archer army is there, and Nicov, look at him. He's gonna sell his stone again, and he's gonna go up to the castle age, and he knows if he gets there, he can get crossbows and run right in the back of the base, and dogao will never see him coming. dogao probably thinks, oh, Nicov probably went somewhere over here, right? So he's probably safe and running away. As yeah, dogao runs into Nikov's base, trying to get some damage in as well. But yeah, it's fully walled, most of it. You know, there's archers to defend as well. And there come the archers. Oh, but dogao's looking for it. He's looking for it. Oh, you can see it now. Okay, so now it's not going to be a surprise anymore. It's actually Nicov who's getting surprised by this right now. Okay, so dogao now knows. Yeah, he's sending his army to the back, so he knows where that army is coming from. Nico on the way to Castle Age, but he's not going to get there by the time that this fight happens. So let's see. He can't take the hill though, as the dogao dropping a wall, a gate to keep this army stuck, you know, to make sure that it can't go on here as he attacks with his army on the other side. Let's see what your micro looks like. Nicov losing 2 archers there. Good micro there for dogao. 3 archers going down. Having the skirmishers in the front, definitely helping a lot here. And Nikov's counter attack there, unfortunately for him, not working out. And good defense from dogao, but still has to click out the castle and he's still going to be at least a minute behind here. If he clicks up now, it's going to be a minute. If he waits longer, it's going to be more than a minute. This is logic. Got some scouts in the middle just for some vision, I guess. You know, especially to look on that relic and things like that. Now, let's see what Nicov is going to be doing. We still have that we have another stable. He built another stable now. He's still making some archers, but he's getting cavalry armor. So, the knights are about to come out. Or light cav. But I guess knights are about to come out here in conjunction with his crossbows. As for dogao, what is he doing? Let's see. Archer range, archer range. Has clicked up now, but he's a full 2 minutes behind. Well, almost 2 minutes behind. Again, to the castellades. It's the second time. Although this time around, I would say he's not as dead as he was last time. You know, he has the walls up this time at least. He has only lost 2 villagers. Nicov can't get in on this side because the house will go up by the time Nicov gets here with his crossbows. Yep, that goes up. The villager should just run away. Should just run away. Okay, she runs away into death. Nice snipe there for Nicov. I like this from dogao, just checking to see if Nicov is going to try to expand to that goal. It's very likely that Nicov is going to drop a TC. Is going to drop a TC there. Where's the hole? Where's the hole? Is it over here? Is it over here? Where is it? Because there's no hole here, it seems. Maybe over here. Well, for now, Nicov is attacking on this side, so he's going to try to break in here. And dogao is still 40 seconds away here. He's trying to wall out this pressure from this side, but there's a hole in the back. Oh, no! He's trying to wall this out, but if he's assuming that the... Do you think he assumes there's a tree there? Because if he assumes that, then he's in a heap of trouble in a second here. Oh, dogao's looking at this. He's probably looking at this like, oh, please don't let there be a hole. Please don't let there be a hole. Please don't let there be a hole. He's looking at it right now. It's like, please, no hole. No hole. I'm safe. I'm safe. No! And now Nicov is in the back of your base. I mean, dogao has an army there, but now the villagers have to leave the wood anyways. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, Christ. That sucks. Nicov sending military to the front of dogao's base as well. Dogao getting his crossbow upgrade. I mean, at least he has some units out now to counter what Nicov is doing a little bit. But remember, Mongols, not their forte, the castellades. This is Khmer territory right now. The Khmer are much stronger in castellades than the Mongols will be. As Nicov still sniping units here, dodging shots himself. Look at that. This army has 6 kills, but Nicov 7 kills with fewer units. Okay, now he's not microing this anymore. He's busy microing on the front as well. Busy macroing, I'm sure. Still getting kills in the back here. dogao still taking losses. It's 47 villagers for Nicov. It is 38 for dogao. And dogao has almost 3 minutes of ILTC time. That is what most of those villagers... It's going to make the difference there. That's like 9 villager difference right there. And look at Nicov. Disgusting. Still getting kills here. And dogao just can't get freaking kills in. This freaking micro nerd, man. Dogao's probably like, you nerd, damn it. And like I said, Nicov probably the faster player, but not probably, definitely the faster player out of the 2. Really good micro from him. It's difficult for dogao to deal with, as he's getting attacked on all sides right now. Nicov losing a bunch of units in dogao's base as well, but... yeah, it's looking good for the Khmer player, who right now is just spamming forward units. Just spamming forward more units, and his freaking army is still alive in the back of his base. These crossbows could be used on the front, but dogao has to keep him in the back now, because otherwise these crossbows would annihilate his wood line. He's dropping a TC on the other side, but we'll kind of keep this safe, I guess. But it's, I mean, a TC like that, you probably would have wanted that on another wood line there, but now it has to go in the back. Nicov still has Still has the hill here. On the other side, Nicov breaking into dogao's woodline almost. If he makes it a little bit further. Oh no! Now you want to be Khmer so you can run into houses. As Nicov is like, that's some cute villagers we can take there. Nicov's still alive with these crossbows. He still has these crossbows. The dude is microing 2 things at the same time. Yeah, it's just, look at the worker efficiency last minute for dogao. Look at that, 57%. It's like nothing. 78% for Nicov. Like, his economy is completely untouched. It hasn't even been close right now. Dogao is 12 villagers behind, and that's not just because Nicov keeps sniping. It's just because Nikov's micro is better. It allows him to win these battles, and dogao is fighting with villagers now out of desperation because he needs to do something. And yeah, Nico is on point. He really is. And dogao is like, GG, screw this. We're not going to do this anymore. And I think dogao probably going to go for a different unit here. I don't think he's going to try to go into micro battles with Nicov anymore because Nicov just seems too strong here. It's kind of like when you're up against Leary. I wouldn't go into an archer micro battle with Leary either. That's suicide. And Nicov seems like the faster player. Definitely seems like the faster player here in the fight. And I think if we go and look at the KD, that should tell us a lot about how this game went. Nicov had more military, but look at that. Way more kills than dogao did. Similar army highs, so similar numbers of military on the field at the same time. But dogao, with the same amount of military, just wasn't able to win these fights. And Nicov was just all over him the entire time. It just must have been so frustrating. I cannot imagine how frustrating this must be. I would be so annoyed at that. If someone did that in my base, I would be very annoyed. Very annoyed by that one. And like, you freaking nerd. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, really well played with Nicov. Such aggression. It works well, so dogao needs something. He needs to do something special the next game, because otherwise it's going to look like Nicov is going to win this set handily here. After already 2 strong games from him. Now, I mean, it wouldn't be the first set that starts out with a 2-0 but ends up in a 3-2 for the other player. But dogao, again, has to pull some tricks out of the hat here. Micro battles aren't going to save him against Nicov, because Nicov seems on point today. He seems in form. So I think he probably needs to go for maybe some cavalry or something else. So we'll see. I'll look at this draft and see what the possibilities are. Although Nicov might still go for crossbow. He picks Khmer, still does crossbows. So, the dude likes his archers. But what can we say? Better economy for Nicov as well, because it wasn't harassed. Remember, villager high, there was more villagers for Nicov, and they were working more efficiently because they weren't getting harassed all the time. Yeah, Nicov as well. Like, actually, APM wise, look, dogao actually very similar to Nicov, but the APM, the actions that Nicov took, he dodged more shots with those actions, and therefore his micro was better. So APM is not always the best indicator of micro. Like, APM is just actions. Micro is effective actions that actually, do shit. Like technically, microing your crossbows into a mangonel shot is also an effective action. Except that, I don't think anyone is gonna applaud that. Except us as casters, because that's really funny to look at. It's very satisfying to see crossbows go down the mangonels. Not so much when you're making those crossbows, but when you're watching it, yeah. Now we do have a game 3 that it started a minute ago. So if you don't mind, let's just have a look at the draft real quick. Yes, real quick. There we go. Let's see. We got a win for Nicov, a loss for dogao with, what was it, Mongols. There we go. So my bet would be that it's either Huns or Sicilians here for dogao. Because Vietnamese, Aztecs, you're going to have... Or if you go Aztecs, I guess Eagles. But if you do either of those 2 sets, it's probably going to have to be archers. So it wouldn't surprise me if dogao is going to try to turn this into a cavalry war. And if Nicov expects that, then I would pick Indians. Because if your opponent is not going to do archers with you, if he wants to go for knights, you pick a set that counters that. Although, remember, Sicilians, Indians... Not necessarily an Indians win, man. Watching archers die for mangonel shots is the most beautiful thing in the world. I agree. Especially when it's siege onager and it's like arbalest. It's so satisfying. I don't know what it is. It's just... Not when you're on the receiving end of it, though. Not that. That's not satisfying. That sucks. Because it takes so long to mass your archers. But if you're the one doing it, yes, approved. Very much approved. Very boom, much onager. Okay, let's see. Yep, game is started, so let's get into this. We'll probably have a spec delay, because they've been putting a spec delay on their thing. Or not. Nope, no spec delay. Perfect. His beautiful windows aren't your archers. Exactly. Exactly. I agree wholeheartedly. And alrighty. Welcome to the third game between Dogao and Nicov. And oh boy. And see, did I not call it? Did I not call this? It is Hunts for Dogao because he wants to switch it up with cavalry. And Nicov called that correctly. It's like, you want to go cavalry? Good. I'm gonna go Indians. And oh, Dogao. Oh my god. I mean, I agree with his pick. I understand that you're down 2 games, both of which Nicov out-microed you with archers, so you want to go for something else than archers. So you pick a cavalry civ. But why not pick Sicilians? You know, because Sicilians at least stand a chance against Indians here, because Indian camels don't actually do that well against Sicilian knights. And remember, Indians don't get knights. They don't have heavy cavalry to defeat Sicilians with. So Indian Sicilians, pretty good. But you know, Huns can't go knights against Indians. That doesn't work. So yeah, Dogao kind of has to go CA now. But honestly, if that happens, Nicov can also go archers, and Nicov will enjoy that. Right, so this is a big counter pick to cavalry. Nicov is basically saying, don't go cavalry, because I want to beat you in the micro battles with archers. So if the set between Leary and Tato is anything to go by, this is going to be an uphill battle for Dogao, because Huns Indians not the best matchup for Huns, really isn't. So, I mean, yeah, that's good for Nicov for picking a civ, you know, correctly calling probably what Dogao was gonna do, you know, and then countering it with his own civ pick. I expected Dogao to go cavalry here just because of how the last 2 games went. I don't think he wants to go for archer micro anymore. But he kind of has to now, because if he goes knights here, without any pikeman support, he's just going to get destroyed by camels. And that's the thing with Indians Huns. There is nothing that Huns can do that Indians can't do, right? In theory. But Indians can do things that counter what Huns do. So that's why Indians are the stronger civ of the 2. I would definitely prefer Indians. But that doesn't mean that Huns can't win this. They can win this. I mean, like Leary got pretty close-ish to defeating Tato when it was their matchup. And the match between the Berbers and the Tatars shows that even if your opponent has camels and even more counter units to your cavalry archers, does not mean that you can't go CA. If you're fast enough, get an advantage early, get the castle age faster than your opponent, and then overwhelm it with CA, that is something that Huns do really well. So an all-in CA play might be on the table here for Dogao. But he first has to get the castle age, and Nicov will know that. And he's going to try to stop Dogao from massing CA here. Let's have a look at the respective bases here. We got a New Arabia-esque base here for Nicov, as in the wood lines are to the back, most of them at least. We got a side goal that's not really to the back, but it's not too far forward either. The berries are forward though, so that's right next to a hill, so that's tricky. But he has a back goal, that's nice. Really nice. If you lose control of this one, you can always retreat to this gold right here without having the extra wall. Whereas this gold is awful. That is a bad goal. Bad gold. This is a gold you have to castle if you want to really safely take it. Or be so far ahead that you can just TC it unopposed. That's fine too. Anyways, Dogao going for men-at-arms. No, a drush. That's a drush actually. So it's going to be a drush for Dogao now. As he's pushing in his zebra. Yeah, the wood lines for Dogao are quite spread out. But I guess you can wall a little bit if you want to. Has a back main gold. That's pretty sweet. Depending on how he walls. If he walls like right there and then between these wood lines, then that gold is really safe. This is an easy wall off as well. Got some gold here, so a TC right there wouldn't be bad. Maybe a TC on this gold because it's so far out there. But that's all late game stuff. We're not thinking about that. But Dogao is thinking about walling here, which I agree with. as he is getting loom, and right in time, because there is a scout for Nicov, and knowing Nicov, he is definitely going to try to snipe your walling villagers if you don't have loom. Now, of course, Nicov is also already on the way to fuelate, so even if you have loom, in about a minute, those walling villagers are still going to be in danger. As, I guess there was an elephant there, right? The dogao is going to take some wood over here, but only one villager, and Nicov could still snipe that if he finds it. He might just find it, but right now, Nicov busy with the arrival of the militia in his base. He has quick walled in his villagers for now, dropping his own barracks, but he's probably just going to go into scouts? Yeah, no one on gold, so it's going to be scouts for Nicov. As dogao probably is just going to content himself with trying to take down this mill. Yep, there's the stable. Scouts for him. As let's see what Nicov can see. You can see, okay, you can see that dogao is going to gold. So that suggests that dogao does not want to go for scouts himself. I think it's just going to be drush into, I guess, archers then. I guess archers for now. Yeah, so something. I mean, it's not a fast castle attempt, is it? No, it's not. No, it's not enough farms. You need to have more farms if you want a fast castle with a drush. That you need. One, that is way too risky at this level, and two, you need way more farms if you want to do that, because otherwise you won't have the food count. So it's just gonna be drush into archers, I suppose. Just wait, because we are on gold. Yeah, there's the archer range. Very nice. Drush is still alive, delaying a little bit, but Nicov is not letting himself be distracted by that. He's like, nah, mate. I am going to go forward. We're gonna snipe you. Now, dogao needs to wall on this side. Of course, you can't house wall anything, which definitely nerfs Brazilian players, doesn't it? Don't Brazilian players all house wall a lot? I wonder how much complaints you got from the Brazilian community about the fact that houses are nerfed now. Because that really nerfs people that house wall. Like, if you only use houses to wall, that really nerfs you. If you're not going to place the palisade walls, and houses are weaker now. Huh. That's kind of a problem. As we have an archer range now as well for Nicov, so he wants to follow this up with some archer play as well, because he knows that that's what dogao is going to be doing here. For now, dogao going for some archers, and now it's going to be archer v archer micro again. Ay. I hope dogao has brought his game phase here, just like Capuch, so he can win the micro battles versus Nicov, the micro nerd. You know. That's not a derogatory remark. You know, micro nerds are really good in this game. I think it's more a compliment than anything else. Anyways, dogao still trying to work his way through his mill. The mill's on fire, but the villagers don't care. As the villagers now joining the fight, and dogao trying to get out, but wow, Nicov surrounding this army even, and nothing can get away. Militia go down, another single scout goes down, and yeah, dogao's scout definitely bites the dust. He's bringing forward some archers with a spearman now, which they will pass. Ooh, just passing over there. That army is going to go to the left, where Nicov is still open. Yeah, there's still a hole right there, although Nicov is going to wall that up down. And, Nicov! Why don't we wall like this? Like, this is a longer wall up than this is. I don't know, man. Although, in his defense, if he had done that, this archer army would have caught it off guard. So, I guess it ends up working out well for him. But still, I'm pretty sure that wall will not be up by the time these archers get here. Especially because he didn't finish it, so, you know. Scouts for Nicov, still trying to run around doing some damage here, but yeah, now dogao's base is fully walled. He's starting to bring out some more farms, trying to get the castle age as fast as he can, and yeah, no, dogao is going to be able to get in here, but Nicov responds to it. Wow, the reaction time, crazy. He tries to go for some sneaky houses here to try to block this army. I think he should just try to run here, try to run away as fast as he can. Is he gonna make it? No, that's not gonna save you, stuff like that. No, yeah, it might be fast, but arrows travel faster. Skirmish is coming in just too late to save that villager, and the first eco kill of the game is for dogao. Very nice, very nice. Getting value for two archers here as Nicov tries to cut off that army, and so dogao is like, okay, we'll just double back. And Nicov had already sent another villager, so that villager could have easily died here. It's a nice move indeed. This is good. This is the kind of stuff that he needs to do. The kind of stuff that he needs to do to come back in this game. But Nicov, yeah. The thing with skirmishes is that they're so inaccurate that you can actually fire and still kill things that are moving, right? Because the javelin is so unlikely to hit its target when it's still. It's actually more... You have actually a better chance of hitting units than if you had... if they were more precise. Kind of funny. Let's just say, when you get thumb ring but not ballistics, it nerfs skirmishers. It sounds counterintuitive, but it is true, because suddenly they actually hit exactly the target they want to hit every time, but not if it's moving. And now suddenly there's no variation in it. You know, the accuracy is 100% now, which means it won't jump forward and to hit a target that is running away. And that is actually how Nicov got those kills. Because if this was, if these skirmishers have thumb ring, you could not kill these archers running away until you get ballistics. At least that would be my bet. Could test that actually. Anyways, Nicov, let's see what he's doing. Dropping another archery range. So we'll see what he's gonna do with that. That might also either be, man, I'm slurring my words already. It's been a long day. That might either be cavalry archers, or it might just be crossbow for Nicov, because we have seen that Nicov is completely comfortable going for crossbow. But dogao is about to click up here, and it is a stable. Ooh, a stable now for dogao. So maybe he's going to go for knights after all. But remember, Indians, remember, every knight you make is a knight. Is a knight that Nicov can kill. Indians are... like, Indians are a literal nightmare. Yeah. With a K. It's not even for the joke, it's just true. Yeah, dogao clicking up first. Clicking up 20 seconds before Nicov. The first time he's actually getting up before Nicov here. Now, this is actually interesting, because Nicov might expect cavalry archers here. Or something ranged, right? He's like, surely he's not gonna go... he's not gonna go knights against me, right? Everything I've seen so far in his base, you know, I've only seen the archer range. I still don't know what else he's doing. dogao is hiding the stable switch for now. Surely he is gonna go for crossbows and then for cavalry archers or something like that, right? Nope, dogao is making knights, and he's definitely gonna make a bunch of knights because it's 2 stables and not just 1. This is not like I'm adding a few stables here to kill your skirmishers. No, this is like I'm gonna make knights, like for reals. So by the time that dogao figures that out, or Nicov figures that out, he might actually switch into some camels. But for now, I'm seeing a third range come up. That might also either mean a whole lot of crossbows or cavalry archers here from Nicov. Interesting. He might expect cavalry archers from dogao, but dogao's not going to make those. Not for now, at least. I'm not seeing a third range, a fourth range, anything like that. It's knights and crossbows. And Nicov still hasn't found this either, so... yeah, crossbow upgrade coming in now. That's a nice little army that dogao's coming forward with. But Nicov catching that off guard here in the front. And dogao microing back to a hill here as he's getting attacked by a scout cavalry in the back. But that's dead. Now Nicov is going to be later with his upgrades. And actually he's getting crossbow, but he wanted to get elite skirmisher first here. As dogao gets his upgrades and can now micro down his army. So Nicov, let's see what your micro is like. And Nicov is like, yeah, this is my micro. I run away. And probably good that he does that, actually. As crossbows being way more accurate than skirmishers can't freaking hit any skirm. See, that's the irony, right? Skirmishers less accurate than crossbows actually hit targets without ballistics. Crossbows more accurate, don't hit anything. It's kind of frustrating. See? They're actually getting hits here and there. Okay, that should have been a hit. How's that not a hit? Anyways, some knights coming out, and ooh, now Nicov sees the knights. These knights have some upgrades as well. Not a whole lot though. No second upgrade, armor upgrade on them. No bloodlines either. An upgrade that dogao should definitely get here. But now you have a giant crossbow army, and the counter doesn't work anymore. And Nicov, expecting cavalry archers or crossbows, is not prepared for knights, even though he's Indians. Like I said, just because it counters you, if you stop them from getting to that counter, you can still win, right? You can still win. Like Goths. If Goths don't get their Huskarls, they cannot stop archers, period. So you stop them from getting a castle. And that's a nice number of crossbows as well. 18 crossbows, you know, will allow dogao to get a lot of kills in. And for the first time, I'd say that Nicov is definitely a bit on the back foot here. It's 43 villages for Nicov, 46 for dogao, but dogao doesn't have wheelbarrow. Nicov does, so Nikov's economy is technically slightly better here overall. So we have a few villager snipes now. Another eco kill for dogao. Nicov hasn't been able to do any damage to dogao just yet. More knights coming out, and I wonder if Nicov is gonna think about switching into camels here. Though, is it a bit too late for that? Because there's this many crossbows out already. Camels are not the best unit against that. Bloodlines coming in now for dogao. It's gonna make his knights a lot stronger, and this is looking pretty good for dogao actually. This is looking pretty good. Like, this is the first game where it really looks like, okay, Nicov is not in control of this game right now. It's dogao who's dictating where the fights are happening right now. Keeping Nicov kind of stuck in his base. And Nicov, you know, he's not added the second town center yet. Dogao is, well, has already done that right now. So he's going to get his eco up a little bit. And he got that town center up exactly where I said it would go up as well. Wow. I mean, if you follow logic, yeah, that I would put it up here as well. Look at the wood lines, right? Wood control, minimal. So you need to secure another wood line. And this is the most likely one. You're already taking it anyways. And there is gold. So, yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, dogao, much more army on the field. A lot of knights as well. It's still lacking that second armor upgrade, which is an expensive upgrade to get. But you do have 600 gold. So I guess drop a market and just get the upgrade? Because it's important in this fight right here. If he has +2, this army dies instantly. This army cannot win against +2 knights. But when it's +1, they can actually do some damage here a little bit. But I don't know. Is Nicov pushing this knight army back a little bit, and dogao probably wants to be a bit more cautious because he wants to stop Nicov from finding what he's doing down here. Dropping a siege workshop, and he's going to siege push the south side of Nikov's base. Now, the thing is, there is wood lines here that Nicov is probably going to feel like taking, but the only thing that you're going to deny if you siege push here is the stone. Right, the gold is up here, but it has a tower to protect it. There's another gold right here, but it's all the way around, so that's awkward to go by with siege. So I wonder what angle of attack dogao is going to take here. Even double walled, like right there. So we'll see. We'll see. And also what siege unit he's going to go for. Mangonels, I like that. Good. Second armor upgrade is in. This army is now in danger. That's a lot of knights with bloodlines. Look at that. dogao instantly turning around, dodging a little bit, and he wants to immediately take that fight because he can. He could if he wanted to. I mean, you might take some losses there, but honestly, what you do, you engage with the knights against the skirmishers first, then you use your crossbows to trade against their crossbows because you're not making those anyways. You don't want to keep making them, as Nicov has ballistics now, so his skirmishers now start hitting units again. As at the same time, some siege coming forward from dogao. Nicov cannot see that, so he doesn't know about this. So actually, Nicov is trying to go for a counter now. Ooh, some knights that get caught off guard here. And yeah, those knights will go down. But Nicov has to prepare himself for a siege push. And yeah, dogao is going to hit this town center, which Nicov is not taking gold on. But yeah, now he sees that. But he's not going to be expecting that mangonel to come out as well. He can see it though. He can see it now though. So I wonder what he's going to do with his army. As soon as he gets hit by a mangonel over here. Now it's 2 mangonels. dogao is going to put on some pressure on Nikov's base. Let's see if he brings back his army or not. Or if he wants to go for the counterattack nonetheless. As dogao is committing to knights here. Nicov not making any camels is telling dogao that it's okay to make knights. Like I said, if there's no counter out, you can make knights. There's no one stopping you from making knights. As long as there's no camels out, knights are fine. And Nicov is not making any camels right now, so it's okay. But the problem though for dogao is that his gold is not safe. I just abandon it now. You got a house wall. Oh wait, Hans. You got a... Well, I always barracks wall. I don't know why. It's just the first hotkey that I click. Now this town center will keep you safe on this side as well. That's nice. Yeah, Nicov will have to dive this if he wants to pass. And Nicov is like, yeah, that's not a problem to me. We'll dive this. Using the knights here to delay the army a little bit so it stays under the TC longer. Taking a bunch of hits as well. dogao though, ooh, sending his knights back. So now his own attack on the front a little bit weaker here as the TC, losing a lot of HP. So Nicov is under attack, but does have this army in the back of dogao's base, and he has proven that is very dangerous. And dogao agrees. dogao agrees. This army cannot escape anywhere. There is nowhere to go, nowhere to micro, and these knights are gonna absolutely wreck this army now. Absolutely wreck it. +2, yeah, this should be a clear up for dogao. Nicov should never be able to win this. He can definitely get a few knights. He got 2, a 3rd knight. That's good value, but no. Nikov's army should go down here, and as a result, dogao firmly ahead now in the military count, and is only slightly behind in the eco. As Nicov is on 3 town centers, so is dogao. So both players on 3 TCs. Now dogao did lose a mangonel here in the attack. We didn't see that, but I can, there were 2 here before. Now there's only 1, so that's pretty clear. Also, this mangonel has a kill. 5 kills, actually. Damn, good shots. Oh, dogao! The crossbows. Rip. Well, I guess Cavier is very happy now. Oh, nice raid there from dogao on the stone. Really smart, actually. And Nicov has had enough of the night raids, and he's starting to make camels. But the question is it too late now? Is it too late now? Because it's going to take a while to get your camel numbers up to a number where it's... Caviar says he is. Nice. It's going to take a while to get your camel numbers up. So Nicov needs to buy himself a little bit of time here. Farming out here as well. That's pretty ballsy as well. And let's see what dogao is going to do. And dogao is like, oh, you're going to make camels now? That's cute. Now I'm going to make cavalry archers. Oh, and Nicov, he's responding to what dogao is doing, and dogao just switches it around again. And this is kind of what Slam was doing at early game, right? First going CA, something that was unexpected because it's so, why would you go CA against Berbers, right? That's so dangerous. Same here. Or why? And here's it's like, why would you go knights against Indians? But dogao did it, and he's getting so much value out of this. The Eagle Kitty shooting up for dogao. 13 kills here. He's getting so many villagers. And now the cavalry archers come out, and now suddenly your camels don't absolutely do nothing. Knights trying to get into the economy as well, and dogao is perfectly happy killing these camels, which lack a few upgrades as well. No bloodlines is a big deal as well. And Nicov, yeah, he's just falling apart right here. dogao sending in more knights, sending in more cavalry archers. It's absolute disaster for Nicov right now. dogao has completely outplayed him. I mean, I guess maybe Nicov didn't believe that dogao was going to stick with knights. He thought maybe it's just a few knights just to keep until the cavalry archers come out, right? He's not going to stick with cavalry archers, right? But dogao just kept making knights. And now it is 28 villagers ahead for dogao. 82 villagers only for Nicov, 109 for dogao. Very nice for him. And the knights are still running in the back of Nikov's economy, sniping a mangonel as well. Camels now coming out to deal with these knights, but now you've got cavalry archers to worry about. And now you've got this army in the back of your base. So many farms are idle. And look at the score difference as well at this moment. Army difference much better for dogao as he's sending more armies to the front now. So even if Nicov is responding to the army in the back, he has to deal with the army on the front. Losing some cavalry archers here though. The camels getting a bunch of kills. And remember, it's still knights versus camels. So the camels should do better than the knights here. But not when there's cavalry archers to support to kill the camels. As the crossbows also, getting microed back by Nicov. But they're still going to go down in the end. And Nicov... definitely on the back foot. If he wants to get back into this game, he needs to do something special. But Nicov probably realizing, nope, dogao has just outplayed me. And dogao proving my point that Huns versus Indians isn't a Civ win. It doesn't mean that Indians are always gonna win. If you play Huns well, as a flexible Castle Age Civ, you can beat Indians. And dogao proves that. Proves how strong Huns can be if you just do the unexpected. And it was really brilliant. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Nicov expected cavalry archers. He was probably thinking, okay, my Civ counters Huns. If he goes knights, I'll just destroy him with camels. So there's no way he's going to do that, right? So he was preparing for a ranged match. He was preparing for crossbows and cavalry archers. So he's making some skirmishers, some crossbows, and then dogao just started spamming knights. And there were no camels. There were no camels on the field whatsoever to counter the knights. And the knights were doing a lot of damage, getting a great bunch of clear-ups here, especially in the back of dogao's base there. Then Nicov was like, okay, so this is not just a little fad here. He's actually going to make more knights here. I should probably start making camels. And he was reacting to what dogao was doing after already suffering some damage. And then dogao was like, now I'm going to make cavalry archers. When there is no counter on the field and you're making camels, which don't really do well against cavalry archers. It was brilliant strategy, really well played by dogao, and Nicov with all his with all his micro skills, still overpowered by that strategy from dogao. So really nicely done there, and kind of coming back into this set a little bit. Yeah, that's an impressive game right there, because I know how difficult it is. Because I love playing Huns. I play Huns all the time, but against a Civ like Berbers, Indians, it's hell. It's absolute hell. To play against, because you usually get countered. But if you kind of mind games your opponent, I think Nicov kind of mind gamed himself a little bit. His draft picking strategy was so complex that even he got confused by it. It's like, okay, Indians counter Huns, Hun Knights, so there's never going to be any Knights, therefore I should go something else than Knights. Wait, there's Knights. What? Yeah. And you still can never be sure if dogao is serious about the knight play or not, right? If he's going to actually continue playing knights. That's why Nicov didn't immediately switch into camels, because it might have been, again, a few knights to clean up his units, and then it's going to be CA. But the CA never came. Dogao just kept making knights. Exactly what he needed to do. Ah, wow, a fantastic game, actually. Look at that KD. 106 kills for dogao, 67 kills for Nicov. Much better economy as well for dogao, whose base was largely untouched. Most of it, barely any raiding going on. I think Nicov only got 2 eco KD, so eco kills, I mean. So, very good. One eco kill. Look at that. And Nicov lost like 40 villagers there, so yeah, that's some great stuff. And wow, look at dogao go there. Look at him pike there. Boom, boom. Very good stuff. He was doing a lot right there. He was into it at this point, like getting ahead around here, and then bam! Look as well. He got ahead around here, and look at that APM go up a little bit. That's excitement right there. That's adrenaline, and for good reason. And oh boy, we got a game 4 already. So let's get into that. Unless you guys want to speculate on the draft that really quickly, but honestly, this is so exciting. I want to continue to the next game here and see. Can dogao win another game and complete, at least give himself a shot for the reverse sweeper, or will Nicov wipe the floor with dogao in this 4th game and finish the set and remain in the tournament? Well, that comes next. It's lots of stuff on the line here, so we have 5 seconds of spec delay. There we go. Perfect stuff. Game should load in a second there, and then we can get in. Yeah, right there. Perfect stuff. Alrighty. Welcome to the 4th game between dogao and Nicov. And dogao was able to get a game off of Nicov, going to the 2-1. If he wants to continue this set, he has to tie it up today with his with a win over Nicov. And let's see what civilizations they have gone for. Nicov has gone for Tatars. Ooh, but dogao has Sicilians. What do we favor here? Well, it's all going to depend on how this game's going to go. If dogao gets a Sicilian Hallberg Cavalier, that is not good for Tatars. Because if you're still using cavalry archers, then you're not going to be able to do a whole lot against a knight that has 8 pierced armor. You'll have to micro your cavalry archers all the time, which is not really something you want to be doing in late imp. But until then, Tatars might have some options here. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go for these players here. Curious to see, honestly. I don't want to call this game. I just know that dogao probably wants to continue with the cavalry play. He's had a lot of success with that so far. And Nicov probably wants to go back to some crossbow play, which is where he's had more success himself. So, well, that would be my guess for now. I do know that you don't want to just... that it's difficult to deal with Sicilian scouts. If you have a whole lot of scouts in Fule, it's difficult to counter if you don't have your own scouts. You like Sicilians better? Yeah, I think I would be inclined to. I mean, I love nomadic civs. I love the cavalry archer play. But I gotta agree that Sicilians is the more dangerous civ here. But there is still that mid-game spike, right, in Castles. If Nicov can get to a nice number of crossbows with thumb ring that he gets for free instantly, that could still be really strong. So we'll see how that's going to go. Both players just kind of pushing in their economy. Nobody's going to go for a lane here. We're going to keep it safe. Especially dogao doesn't want to go take a lot of risk. Well, Nicov is scouting out here. And oh boy. He's just going to miss that rhino as well. He doesn't He just doesn't see it. Wow, what are the odds of that? But he does see that. Oh, that's good. That's good. Now he's not going to run into the TC anymore. He can see that little tapestry, and he saw the arrow fire. Yeah, so that's clear signs. So no dead scout for dogao here. Did I say Nicov earlier? I meant dogao. As Nicov is kind of hiding his lumber camp on the other side of the wood line. That's quite uncommon. Like, the reason why people usually put their lumber camp on the inside is because if you get raided and your villagers have to leave, they can just run straight to the TC. Now you have to run around, to go back, which just takes more time. And in that time, your opponent can, has a bigger chance to kill your vills. As for the rest of Nicov's base, you basically have 4 wood lines, it seems. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of them are close-ish by. This one is kind of far away, so that's... Yeah, that's not a wood line you're going to be taking really early on. Forward gold for Nicov, though, also for a berry. So this hill right there, this hill is key to controlling these resources for Nicov. So you will want to control this. I think you need a wall all the way around this if you want to keep it really safe. Castle maybe even, later up. And you know that the Tatars at some point are going to build a castle. Not just if they want to go for cash shakes, also if they want to get silk armor, which is of course their unique deck that allows their cavalry archers to be very tanky and impossible to kill. Let's just finish up the base here. So we got stone in the back, so that's nice if you want that castle. We got a secondary gold, and oh, that one is alright as well. Like, it's kind of in the back of your economy. If you wall right there, then this gold is safe-ish, right? Like, safe behind walls until the walls crumble. As for dogao, has a back main gold, has 4 wood lines, but those wood lines are kind of awkward a little bit. This one is kind of nice as part of your wall. You got some hills in the front of your base as well, but at least not one hill controlling both main gold and berries. Although this hill, yeah, kind of runs, it's like a ridge, right? We got a secondary gold forward though, not too far away, so that's okay. This one is further away. That's not a gold you're going to be able to take anytime soon. Some stone right here. It's close to your TC. Stone in the back as well. With Sicilians, you always want to keep some stone in mind if you want to go for dungeons, if you want to go for a castle drop, especially with the Sicilian castles that build 100% faster. Or twice as fast, basically. Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Unless someone has the math skills to say, no, that's not what it means. As, Nicov, both of his lumber camps on this wood line. That means that this lumber region is going to run out faster, and of course, it's easier to raid your entire wood line that way. So, I don't know. Anyway, it looks like scouts so far for both... Oh, no, never mind. It looks like scouts for dogao. It doesn't look like scouts for Nicov. That looks like straight archers, because... If it were men-at-arms, that barrack should have been up long before this now. And it's a bit delayed with that, so the archer range should go up now as well. There you go. Yeah, Nicov going back to what he had success with in the first 2 games, wants to go back to some archer play, and dogao, of course, wants to avoid that because that didn't go so well for him. As Nicov was being annoying. He wanted to stop that stable from going up, but it's still going up now. So Nicov will just run around. As dogao also put 2 lumber camps on the same wood line. Wow, what are the odds of that? I mean, these these wood lines are far away. I agree. Like, it's not ideal to have your lumber camp all the way over here, but like this lumber camp is okay, right? I mean, it's on a hill, but at least you're on top of the hill, not at the bottom of it. It's fine. I don't know. It's funny that both players do the same thing here, so, Anyway, there's going to be some archers from Nicov here in a second. Dogao's making scouts, so it's going to be scouts v archers. Now, the thing is, though, what do you normally do to protect your early archers? You add a spearman. What's not going to work against Sicilian scouts? You guessed it, it's the spearman. Yeah, that's not going to help Nicov. So he probably has to keep himself a little bit safe before he moves out here. You can't do that whole Leary thing where you just make a spearman, 2 archers, and go forward. Because if you do that, 2 scouts can kill you. Maybe 3. 3 scouts can easily kill you. They snipe the spearman, and then your archers are toast as well. So that's why Sicilians are so tricky to play against. Like, all those things you normally do against other civs, with the spearman play and things like that, you can't really do that here. You can't really do that here right now. So we'll see how now Nicov is going to play this. And as you can see, that isn't making spearmen either. He's just keeping his archers at home. So that makes sense. But he's still open, and now he's inviting pressure from dogao, basically. He's kind of scouting around to see what dogao is doing, as dogao is dropping an archer range. So apparently, it might not just make scouts here. They might prepare some skirmishers, right, to go with that. Nicov is getting fletching, and he needs something because the scouts are here. Now, the wood lines are walled in. That's good, right? But your entire wood economy is here. So if dogao ever got some ranged units over here as well, that would be bad. It looked like there might have been a hole there, but no hole so far. So dogao can't find any damage so far, well, over here right now. So I'll just have to move on. Again, look at that. Not even a spearman created by Nicov. Like, normally when you see scouts roam around your economy like this, you definitely make a spearman. But right now, you just have to protect yourself with walls. You just have to. As Nicov, knowing that the scouts are forward, is sending his own archers back. And of course, archers do okay against scouts, just like they would against any other civilization. It's just no protection from spearmen. And dogao sending his own scouts back now to probably deal with that pressure from Nicov, as he's also making some skirmishes in the meantime, like I said, to counter the archers for Nicov. I don't think that Nicov is going to get a whole lot of damage in with these archers, because dogao is fully walled on all sides, with his TC basically acting as a little tower. You know, a tower you can garrison and shoot your opponents with if they dare come through it there. dogao hanging around with his scouts. If he can pounce on his army, he will, but it's 4 archers, and with Nikov's micro, very likely that they'll still be able to kill you. So yeah, and also Nicov is gonna gather up with more archers, and now this archer ball is starting to get a little bit more scary if you're trying to fight it with scouts. So I think dogao definitely is going to need the help of his skirmishers here if he wants to take that fight. Yeah, he's not going to take that fight, especially not when Nicov has the hill. Let's see, we have another... Oh, we have a stable, too, from Nicov. So he's also making scouts, anticipating the skirmishes, right? He saw the flag on his archer range. He can guess, right? He can guess what dogao is going to go for. He has also confirmed it now. So he's going to make his own scouts to counter what dogao is doing. That's good. That's really good. dogao is investing a whole lot in skirmishes now. Skirmishes that are not going to do very well once scouts come out. And now Nicov also... dogao also sees 2 scouts now from dogao. No, dogao sees 2 scouts from Nicov, so now he knows there's a stable. You know there's a stable now, as Nicov is pushing his army further away, but there's still too many scouts for red, so blue cannot just engage this. He still has to run away for now, but is spamming some more scouts in. And again, look at this. It immediately makes it very difficult for skirmishers to engage here, as the last scout for the Sicilian player goes down, and dogao has to run away now, yielding a lot of map control to Nicov. We'll be very happy to be able to spam more archers forward and just keep moving on. And yeah, dogao, he needs something else, right? He can make spearmen, by the way. He can make a spearman maybe to get in on the scouts, or just match with your own scouts yourself. Something. But yeah, the skirmishers cannot really engage against these archers now as long as there's scouts around. They can't move out now. So yeah. Now dogao has house walled a lot of this, right? And yes, house walling is totally fine if it's against ranged units, because that still has 8 pierce armor. That's still really strong. So no worries there. Archers are just as weak against building as they always are, but of course scouts do way better now. They do 5 attack, so it's 6 attack against houses. Not too bad, not too shabby. That's only like 120 hits you need to get it down. Yay! That's not too hard. With 2 scouts, let's see, they do what? How many attacks per second? 2 attacks per second, like 1 attack per 2 seconds. So what? It's like 120 attacks for 2 scouts, so 60 each times 2. So basically 2 minutes to get a house down with 2 scouts. That's doable, right? It's yeah. In any case, both players going up to the castle age right now. dogao is trying to defend himself for now, but our skirmish is quite far out in the open. Nicov coming around with more scouts, and again, dogao has to run away here, narrowly keeping himself alive. Yeah, he has to keep these skirmishers alive, because otherwise these archers are going to absolutely wreck him. And remember, once Nicov gets up to the castle age, it will be crossbows with thumb ring for free, which will make his archers very much more dangerous than they are right now. And right now, dogao is just defending with skirmishers, and I'm not seeing a stable going up, another one to indicate that that knights are on the menu. As Nicov losing an archer, but does have the hill. And this is why walling, walling is so important, right? If he walls a little bit further out around this hill, then you can sit on the hill while your opponent has to sit on the bottom of it, right? That makes it much easier to defend. And now there's just hills for Nicov everywhere to sit on, and the dogao is consistently downhill from his opponent. Yeah, that's is nice positioning for Nicov. Look, there's so many hills to sit on. And remember, he's the Tars. He wants to sit on hills. If you sit on hills, you do like double the damage, or double the bonus damage or something like that. Like, look how much damage these scouts do if they get the hill on these skirmishers. Very nice. One scout going down, but then two skirmishers biting the dust. As both players hit cast rates around the same time. Crossbows coming in now for the Tatar player, whereas the Sicilian player has dropped the stable, is going to get University as well, so he's basically all in knights with some skirmisher defense to boot. Is going to get ballistics as well, something to deal with. Well, there's something you will need to deal with cavalry archers if they do come out. Which Nicov, I don't think he's going to go CA just yet. At some point, yes, because you cannot stick with crossbows in Imperial Age because, well, you don't get arbalest, so that's not really doable. But for now, getting an advantage first with the crossbows, keeping dogao stuck in his own base, so he can't counter you with those Sicilian knights, allowing you to get some cavalry archers out might be the way to go for Nicov so far. And Nicov also, again, with thumb ring, his microing is going to be a lot. His micro is going to be a lot more dangerous. Remember also that hill. Dogao needs to find a way to take these hills away from Nicov, because as long as he has a hill here, Nicov is going to be better at doing damage here against Dogao. Yeah, look at that. Skirmishers, despite having armor, not standing a chance against the crossbows. But, oh, no, Nicov losing a bunch of archers there, though. Remember, skirmishers are still the counter unit. It's not like Tatar crossbows are impervious the moment they sit on a hill. As now Nicov is making some knights of his own as well. And yeah, Tatars are a cavalry civ. They get full upgrades on their cavalry as well. So it's now totally fine to go knights yourself as well. Especially if you want to take control of this hill. Like this freaking hill. It's been so great for Nicov. It's just so hard to push him off of it. So hard to push it off of it. As Dogao gets his wood upgrade and Nicov will probably get it at some point. We'll keep an eye on it, right? Otherwise we'll say he pulled a Nicov. Right now, he can't really afford that, though. He's making knights, he's making cavalry archers. Yep, the cavalry archer switch coming in as well, especially if he sees knights coming out from Dogao. He probably wants to get some cavalry archers because they're more effective at killing knights. One, they can run away, and two, they don't do more damage. So, yeah. Dogao, though, going for a sneaky town center on the north because he also recognized that wood line down there, which he was taking with 2 lumber camps, well, that's going to run out in a second. And no wood, no glory. Now, luckily, the unit he's making is mostly food, right? Not mostly food and gold, no wood, but indirectly also wood because you have to use that to invest into farms. So there's that. And Nicov still trying to keep a hold of Dogao's base. Is still on 1 TC. Yeah, only 1 TC for Nicov. And if you go for cavalry archers, that is usually the case because it's hard to afford here. As Dogao is buying stone, wants to drop a town center on his gold. A fast TC here to keep his gold villagers safe because he recognizes the threat of these crossbows running in and especially these knights running in. That's the real danger here because these skirmishers cannot be around that as knights for Dogao make it to Nikov's base. Now see the cavalry archers and yeah, no they can't fight there. As Dogao is taking some losses here. This eco KD is 7-0 with Nicov dictating the pace of the game right now. It's 52 villagers for Nicov, only 43 for Dogao, so he definitely took some losses there, which is a problem. But he's on 3 town centers, so if he gets enough food to keep them pumping, he will be able to outboom Nicov. Who has made his way outside of Dogao's base again. And Dogao's base a little bit cramped, but for now, yeah. Yeah, knights without all the upgrades are definitely gonna go down here to the cavalry archers. And now you get CA from Nicov. And with the Tatars, they're very dangerous because they can easily run on top of hills. And of course, yeah, get value that way. Dogao does have ballistics, which Nico knows, so he's trying to micro against that as well. And also bringing in a knight to just be annoying here on the front. Although these skirmishers can kill the knight at some point, right? The knight will go down. And there it goes. Boop, there it goes. Giant spear sticking out from its body, but down it does go. As Nicov now also sees this. This is important, right? Because he didn't know that that economy was right there. Now, he's not going to try to hit it because he knows he's being chased by skirmishers. But he knows it's there now. Now he knows, you know, it's a place to hit. And at the same time, dogao, he didn't wall the front of his base yet. And now the cavalry archers are in. Oh, dogao. So much idle time for dogao as well. ILTC time, idle time overall. Where's that again? Idle eco. Well, I guess that's yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the idle time is gone. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. More skirmishers from dogao. I mean, at least skirmishers counter both the crossbows and the cavalry archers, which you will definitely know. As the knights finding Nicov building this siege workshop. But please tell me, Nicov, you're gonna fight these knights because they have literally 1 HP. Okay, there you go. Then the villager stays up and the siege workshop will go up. But oh, so many cavalry archers going down for Nicov there. Ooh, that was good for dogao. Really good for dogao. The siege workshop is a doubt shop for now. And that's not going up. But Nicov, like I said, remember, he was going to come back for this. He was going to come back and get a bunch of kills on the stone as well. Very nice for him with these crossbows he is still at left. Still microing them as well, as dogao is trying to counter this with some skirmishes of his own. But yeah, still getting some nice kills. And again, it's 17-2 eco KD. 63 villagers for Nicov, 55 for dogao. But remember, dogao's been on 3 town centers. He had 5.5 minutes of idle time, lost 17 villagers, and Nicov with 1 TC is still ahead of dogao. That tells you how much potential villagers and real villagers he has lost because of all this pressure. And Nicov did take a little bit of a hit there on his cavalry archer numbers. It's only 10 on the field right now, so he needs something, right, to deal with the skirmishers. Because elite skirmishers, of course, do really well against cavalry archers as the crossbows go down. dogao, though, wants a castle. He probably, yeah, this many villages on stone, that's a castle. You know, you want to get a castle up, preferably maybe on the front of your base, maybe on the stone to stop the siege push, right? Maybe right next to this. I don't know. I would, where would it go? Well, the castle here would control this gold, but it doesn't save this side of your base. A castle here would stop the siege push, control this gold, also kind of shield, not really shield this gold, but at least you get this wood line. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where dogao is going to put it as soon as he has the stone, because he doesn't have the stone nor the map control to be able to put it so as far forward as this. Nicov has added some town centers. Actually, has added a lot of town centers. Look at that, 4 TCs. And having those sheep, very nice. It's actually a pretty sweet eco bonus, because the moment you add that TC, normally it's very, very difficult to immediately produce villagers from it, because, well, you don't quite have the food economy for that in most cases. But with the Tatars, you get 2 sheep, which already last longer because of your eco bonus. And that food can at least, you know, it's like 200 food. He can make 4 villagers out of that. And those 4 villagers can then become farmers. And with those farmers, you can then keep the TC running. It synergizes really nicely with more TCs. As a mangonel comes forward now, and dogao will have to run away. Probably has to add his own siege workshop somewhere at home, probably. Maybe on this hill, that would be a nice touch. To add some mangonels of his own, so he can snipe those of Nicov. Second armor upgrade also coming in now for dogao. Finally, that will complete the knight armor upgrades for the castle age at least. And that way he can also actually engage against the cavalry archers somewhat. Or at least run run through their fire. As a nice attack round there for Nicov actually hits a knight as well. To snipe mangonels, because that's the real problem here. If you can snipe the mangonels, then the skirmishers can do the rest with the... Oh, nice shot there from Nicov again, right in the middle of these skirmishers. Again, another one. Such nice attack rounds from Nicov, calling exactly where dogao is gonna go, and dogao has to pull up quite a bit here as he's driving his own siege workshop in the front of his town. That's good. He needs to protect himself a little bit. Knights are sacrificed to go for the mangonels, but oh no! The mangonels are still alive. Dogao's trying to get the mangoes. He gets 1, gets 2. Okay, at least he gets the mangonels now. So at least there's that, because that would have been bad. That would have been really bad. 99 villagers here for Nicov. Only 73 for dogao, and it's not looking very swimmingly for now. If he can get somehow to Imp and get to Halberd Cavalier, there is a chance, because Halberd Cavalier are absolutely insane. As, oh boy, dogao wants a castle. Wants a castle. Is that even going to go up? Nicov sees the villagers coming though, and he's going to sit right in the middle of this castle, and he's like, that's cute. That's cute. Yeah, you're not going to get to place that castle. No way. Now he's going to microwave from it, but still so much idle time before this castle finally goes up. So that's where dogao wanted the castle. Keep this gold safe. That makes sense. His main gold is running out, so he needed to spread out a little bit. He needed to control something, and this main gold was not going to be it. So, I mean, not main gold, secondary gold. So this makes sense. At least he can take gold now. That's important if you want to go up the imp, if you want to, you know, go for cavalier and spam more of them. Now, maybe a next castle could go up like on this hill to stall this pressure out and give yourself a springboard to start conquering your gold again. Something. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, but Nicov is expanding his economy exponentially as well. 119 villages for him, 84 for dogao. So Nicov is like 40 villages ahead right now. I mean, dogao has had a lot of idle TC time, man. Like, he had the TCs before, but he did not have the eco as a result of it. And that is a problem. A problem, because that favors the all-in player. And Nicov has done a really good job keeping all the pressure on dogao so far. And dogao is now counterattacking, finally. He's finally able to counterattack a little bit. But yeah, castle ready for Nicov to protect the main base. He can get silk armor at some point. As we have some knights in the middle sparring with some cavalry archers. We got some skirmishers raiding a wood line, getting a bunch of kills. 4 villagers going down. A few ego kills for dogao. Very nice. More knights streaming forward. So it looks like dogao, for a while, making a whole bunch of knights here. I wonder if he's planning to go up to imp here or not, because Nicov is thinking about it. And he also is making Keshiks. I mean, Keshiks will kill the skirmisher, that's for sure. They also give you gold while they fight. Yeah, it's imp now for Nicov. I wonder if dogao saw the score dip. I mean, that's like one of the most, you know, it's definitely recognizable because it's so much resources invested that, yeah, you're probably likely to see the score dip. But I wonder if dogao is going to be able to have the resources to click up here. Because once Nicov gets the imp, heavy cavalry archers with the Tatars, and also with the final attack upgrade racer, silk armor. Damn, that's scary if you're not an imp yourself. Dogao does have the stone for another castle. I hope he's gonna drop it like maybe over here just to keep yourself safe, because offensive castles are out of the question for now, as the Keshiks are absolutely destroying the skirmishers. Go Keshik! Look at that, they're generating gold. See that trickle? That's Keshiks right there. They are stealing gold from these units which cost no gold and have absolutely no gold on their name. So I'm not actually sure how you're getting gold out of that, but they're getting gold out of that. Don't question it, just enjoy. Look at the Keshiks. They're actually a pretty fancy unit. Look at that. They actually look pretty cool there. I kind of like Keshiks. I mean, not really as a unit, really, but they look cool. As yeah, dogao has this castle. Is going to drop a castle. Oh, he wants to go for a risky castle right there. He wants to secure that gold, but I don't think you're going to be able to do it with that much military out there. I'm not sure if dogao even knows. Okay, he does know how much military is there. Just maybe drop it safe. Drop it safe. Oh wait, that's Nikov's castle. Never mind. Oh, Nikov's castle. Now that I like. That I like. Denying this gold and giving you a great position to start trapping down this castle. Well, at least to start pushing this way, right? As dogao also finds out now that that Nicov is going to drop a castle there. He sees it now, so now he knows he's going to go for his own castle as well, right in front of the stone. But now he sees the dogao, that Nicov is in Imperial Age. That means that Nicov is going to get all his upgrades. Dogao is just going to get trapped down, and I'm not sure if dogao is going to continue to play here, as his army is going to go down. And dogao, he like played his best here. Yeah, Nikov's castle is still a doubt castle though, kinda. Oh, Nicov. Almost. I mean, he's sacrificing a whole lot of military here, but yeah, doubt. I mean, dogao is doubt gao. No, his castle actually went up, so it's not doubt gao. It's just dogao. You know, he had to sacrifice a whole lot, but he has some fighting spirit in him. He is not going to just go away quietly here. He recognizes as well, this is the last game if I lose here, so I have to keep trying. If I resign, I'm out of the tournament, so I'm going to give it my absolute best here. So he is going to try to get up to imp here, but he has to survive for the next 2 minutes. If he can get to Hauberk Cavalier, there is a chance. There's a chance. Oh, there's some economy down here, which Nicov, he knew about that, and he's like, ooh, villager kills. Yeah. I don't think dogao is gonna agree with me on how nice that is. Because, yeah, Nicov thinks that's great. As dogao is still 30 villagers behind here. Nicov at 145. It's been booming on what? 6 town centers by now? 5. Lots of town centers. I don't know. Elite skirmishers coming in here to kill the cavalry archers, but they have bracer now, and look how fast the skirmishers go down now. Look how fast they die, lacking that armor. And also, you're going to lack that armor forever because you don't get that armor upgrade. This is, you know, this is what you use. It's ironic that Cavalier with Hallberg are better than skirmishers because they have more pierce armor. Of course, they don't get an attack bonus versus cavalry archers, but they can actually chase them down, and they have more pierce armor than a Sicilian skirmisher. Look, it's only 6 for that. You need 8. As the dogao continues to use a lot of resources and villagers here, as Nicov is just happily raiding over there. As dogao is trying to get at the MPS, 20 seconds away. He wants to get sniped these trebuchets. Nicov trying to stop that from happening with a stone gate, but that's not succeeding. And the castle for dogao. Oh, that one freaking shot! That one freaking shot! And the castle crumbles, and the villagers are looking at it in disbelief that freaking castle went down. And dogao losing so many knights at the same time. Silk armor about to come in. Dogao now makes it Imperial Age, but the only thing he has left here is skirmishers. The only thing he has left is skirmishers to defend himself. That's it. That's it. His villagers are being raided everywhere. There's no map control down here. Nicov can raid this at his leisure. You know, he's like, I'll just drop some stables here. dogao can't even see that is happening as well. Some stables to get some hussars out to start killing all these skirmishers. And yeah, Nicov. Like, what do you do against these freaking tanks? These freaking tanks. You know, the only thing he's missing is armor from his normal armor, ranged armor upgrades. You should probably get those as well. You know how much pierce armor these cavalry archers get if you get all the upgrades? 7. That's pretty good. That's just as good as these skirmishers, by the way. Yeah, and dogao now. Again, he's only defending with skirmisher. He gave it his best shot, but he calls the GG. Realizes as well that Nicov has outplayed him this series. And the fourth game and the last game of the day with that is gonna go to Nicov. And with that, dogao unfortunately is out of the tournament. You know, has given it his all, but Nicov proved too strong, especially in the first 2 games with the micro. It was on point. It was on point. Now, dogao came back in the 3rd game, which was a masterpiece, by the way. A masterpiece in how to counter Indians as hunts. Honestly, just want to say that if dogao ever gets to see this, masterclass. Really. I'm telling you, that was great. But yeah, in the end, of course, Nicov, the Tatars, managing to outplay dogao with the Sicilians. I mean, it was close here and there, but I think dogao, especially the amount of time he spent defending over here against these freaking hills, gave Nicov all the time in the world to get some damage in here and there. dogao wasn't able to do any counter damage, really. I mean, some point, right? I mean, he started raiding a little bit, but look, so many more villagers killed for Nicov, and that was the key. And then Nicov just switched, went from all in with 1 TC into a. We missed something over here, didn't we? We missed something over here. Look at these gates, hilarious. Yeah, went from 1 TC play into like 4 TC play. Boom. And oh, how are you doing, Fidel Castro? Hey, you changed your name. Nice. You said you were going to do it. Yeah, awesome stuff though. This was a good set nonetheless. You know, dogao could still be proud of his performance here. I mean, the first 2 games were rocky, but the 3rd and the 4th game, he definitely gave it his all. You know, he definitely played really well, but Nicov in the end played it a little bit better. And that just happens in 1v1s. It's a zero-sum game. Someone has to win. There is no middle ground, really. Yeah, there's no such a thing as a tie in Age of Empires, because if you both resign, both loses. That's kind of it. And the game will still pick a winner. It doesn't know how to handle a tie. Yeah, the KD for Nicov, much better, especially at the end, right, with the cavalry archers. There's just nothing that you can do once they get all the upgrades and there's a giant ball of them. Very difficult to deal with. Army high for Nicov, much higher as well than dogao's army high. Economy for Nicov, significantly better. Look at that, 5,000 resources. That translates into a lot of extra cavalry and extra units that you can make with that. So that definitely explains a lot as well. As for the villagers, yeah, Nicov, he was behind, but then dogao lost a lot of villagers, and then Nicov actually got ahead despite being 1 TC. And then Nicov just never gave up that lead. Went for a complete overboom almost. 149 villagers, but you kind of need that many villagers to get all your upgrades, and then you delete them, and then you start spamming. That's the fun. But yes, in any case, looking at this, some great spikes here as well. I mean, look at that. dogao can be, is not a slower player, than Nicov, but overall Nicov seems to have the higher consistent APM, right? If you look at this, the graph kind of waves a little bit above it, but dogao definitely proving he can be just as fast as Nicov can. So that's definitely really good. I mean, look at that. Pew. What a great game, though. So congratulations to Nicov. Good luck next, of course, with the next game, because that's still got his fate in the tournament is still on the line. He still has to win the next game if he wants to continue into the final 8, and that's going to be a difficult match, regardless of what's going to happen. As for dogao, of course, well played, and of course, good luck for the next tournament, next game, anything. GG!